wasn't actually like released. It was discovered later. Because before this collection came out, nobody even knew what this version 2 was. But even though they're all versions of Darius 2, they're actually really drastically different from each other, to the point that they're almost just 3 different games. They're like 3 different games in the same engine. Sagaia is like a much shorter, more compacted version of Darius 2 with different stage order. And Sagaia version 2 almost feels like a sequel to Darius 2. And the stages are really fleshed out full. Surprisingly enough, Sagaia version 2 is probably my favorite version of the game, but I'm really rusty, so I doubt I could get very far. We're going to try a credit of basic Darius 2 in normal mode. I have not played in a long time, so I probably will not clear, but I'll get as far as I can. A lot of people are always asking about this, but there's the difficulty level. There's normal and easy and hard. So I always play on normal. Normal is, I think it's considered difficulty B in the arcade version. And when the game was originally released, it was released on difficulty B. But there are some arguments that the game wasn't really designed for difficulty B. It was designed for difficulty A, which is actually easy mode. And interesting fact, the arcade that is known for Darius here in Tokyo, called Taito-hei in Akihabara, their machine is on easy mode. It's not on normal mode. And it's been on easy mode for quite a long time. Like many years it's been on easy mode. So you can kind of just play whichever version you're happy, you're comfortable with. Normal mode is pretty hateful, but honestly so is easy mode. So yeah, easy mode is by no means easy. But I will be playing normal mode because that's what I originally learned the game on. And this game has an awesome soundtrack. Awesome graphics, awesome vibe. I love the look of this game, but I also think that this is one of the most hateful shooting games ever made. This game has no respect for its players. If you put a coin in this game, it wants to steal the coin from you. It is laughing at you for being stupid enough to put 100 yen into the machine. I originally learned this game pretty much out of spite. I don't think I ever raged harder at a video game in my life than when I was first learning to play Darius 2 on normal mode. I learned it on the old Sega Saturn version, which is a pretty good but not quite perfect port of Darius 2. It's decent. Goddamn, that was a nightmare, I tell you. The reason is, when you die in Darius 2, you lose all of your power-ups, and there actually just aren't enough power-ups in the game to fully level up your ship even once. So if you lose all your power-ups, it's pretty much a guaranteed game over. So, essentially, you only have one life in Darius 2. You can maybe afford to die in, the very last stage. But any time before that, if you die before the last stage, you're not going to clear the game. It's basically impossible. The only Darius 2 I have played in recent years has been in the arcade I just mentioned. So I am very rusty when it comes to playing on normal mode. And I'm just hoping it hasn't made me weak. But it probably has, considering I already took a hit. Yeah, you can kill him instantaneously. Weird thing about Darius 2 is the bosses are, at least the early bosses, are not very hard because you can kill them all very quickly using auto fire. But yeah, the stages are hell on earth. So Darius 2 is it's almost the opposite of Darius 1 as far as the philosophy for how you would play the game. So I said Darius 1 is a game where things are kind of random and shit happens and you have to just learn to adapt and not get too frustrated when shit happens. But Darius 2 is a game where everything happens the same way every credit. It is completely perfectly managed. So there's a very specific, correct way to play Darius 2. And it's also very, very, like, stingy when it comes to shields and things like that. It's the most stingy game in the series, especially on normal mode. And so, in this one, you cannot afford to take a straight hit. You should learn to never take straight hits. You need all those shields for the late game, for, like, the last, like, 3 stages, basically. And, you notice, if you were watching, I actually took a hit in stage 1. I'm not restarting because this is a stream, but normally, if I was really, like, seriously trying to get it clear, I would have just restarted. The moment I get hit in stage 1, that shit's over. I'm not even going to waste my time trying to beat the game at that point. But we're just playing casually tonight, so we're not going to do that. But yeah, you can't think of it like Darius 1. Darius 1, shit happens. Darius 2, shit doesn't happen. You have to make sure that shit doesn't happen. Yeah, I really think this is a much harder clear. As far as just getting the most basic, the easiest 1cc, I would say that Darius 2 is the hardest in the whole series, for sure. So there's, you can see there's like a little nuclear bomb under him, but it's very risky to go and try and hit it. And then, even if you hit it, it won't actually do any damage to him. It's a complete waste of time. So, it's just there to fuck with you. But on this, you'll see there's another nuclear bomb, and you actually want to hit it right away as fast as you can. 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna go under him now. Hit the bomb. The strategies for bosses are quite different on normal mode compared to easy mode. Easy mode, that is one point where the bosses are a lot easier on easy mode than they are on normal, for sure. That boss on easy mode requires no strategy whatsoever. You pretty much just shoot him in the face and he'll die. But normal mode, you have to like time that nuke bomb thing correctly.
Why?
Why is because you see the green laser that I have? If you do it early, well, you can't do it earlier because you'll get hit. If you try to go any earlier than I went, you'll end up taking a hit. So you don't want to do that. You have to. So like there'll be a point where those little like round things that were surrounding him will no longer like be on screen. Or he'll shoot them out at you, and then they'll go away. At that point, you can go and hit them and it's safe. But before that, when they're very close to him, you don't want to do it. You'll take a hit. But in the easy mode, you can actually shoot the nuke instantaneously. And the reason is you see how I have this like angled green laser now that shoots forward. In easy mode, you get that in stage 2 rather than stage 3, and it allows you to shoot the bomb very easily. This is our good friend, Fatty Glutton, back, but significantly easier than it is in Darius 1. Now, for this stage, the main thing you want to know in this stage is that you want to shoot down as many of these like mine-looking things as possible. There's a little trick here. You can actually just hang out at this particular formation. You can hang out at the bottom of the screen and completely avoid all of it, which is, of course, not the greatest for your score, but it's a much safer way of approaching that last wave. Many interesting techniques I learned in the arcades before they changed to easy mode. When I first started playing this game, it was probably around like maybe 2013 or so. I started playing it in the arcades in Akihabara. At that point, the machine that they ran was still on difficulty
How did you get to know Darius?
How did I get to know it? I got to know Darius because of an arcade called Kawasaki Warehouse, which doesn't exist anymore. Ashy's been there. Kawasaki Warehouse is an arcade that was like the interior's designed to look like the walled city of Kowloon. Like if you've ever played Shenmue 2, you'll know a little bit about what that looks like. It's like entering a horror movie set. Really, really cool arcade.
It's a old Hong Kong, I guess, backdrop.
Yeah, I mean it looks like looks like old.
It doesn't. Oh yeah. It's Kowloon is from Hong Kong.
Right, Kowloon is part of Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't know much about like the real Kowloon. Ashley's actually been to Hong Kong. I haven't been to it. But yeah, there was this arcade that had this like old, just run down like Hong Kong vibe to it. Really cool place. It was in a place called Kawasaki in Tokyo, and they actually had the first Darius machine that I ever like ran into. They had Darius 1. Oh, okay. We made a big mistake just now. We missed the nuke, and we really didn't need to. So I'm gonna stop talking for a second and try not to die.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault. Nah, we're gonna be okay now. Yeah, okay, back to it. So anyhow, they actually had the first like Darius 1 machine that I ever saw, and the machine is like, it's huge. The arcade machine is huge, but then it's running this like ancient ass like 1986 arcade game. I mean, you guys just saw it because I just played a credit of it. But it's on this like massive machine that the machine rumbles, like the entire machine, the seat, everything like rumbles as you play. Like when the bosses show up, it starts like shaking and cracking. It has like headphone jacks and like this awesome like sound design. It like blew me away. I couldn't believe that such a game existed, like all the way back in 1986. And I don't know, something about the space fish and like how elaborate the arcade machine was. It just like it blew my mind. It blew my mind, and I knew I had to play that game. And I played it there. I fell in love with it, and then I bought myself like every game in the series. I really want this crab. Stop fucking with me, crab. Okay, it's a very specific strategy for the crab too, as you can see. But yeah, I played Darius there, and that machine, yeah, it blew my mind. After that, my local arcade actually had Darius Burst, and so I decided to give that a try, and at that point I was just totally addicted, and I started buying everything. Every game in the series.
So when you discovered Darius the first time, you have been playing Shmup for a while? Or?
So I guess not like seriously playing. Like, so I've played shmups like my whole life, really. Like it was one of the first genres I was interested in, but actually to the point of like learning to clear the games on one credit. I guess I started doing that around like 2012, probably. And then I discovered Darius maybe a year into my shmup career, so to speak. Because I was just interested, so I was trying out everything I could find, every shmup. It was all new and exciting to me, most of it. Even though I followed the genre, like there's a lot of obscure games in the genre that even if you follow games, you will have never heard of them unless you're really interested in like shooting games. And I think Darius, it kind of falls into that category a bit. Like one of those games, like you know it if you play shooting games, if you're into shooting games, but if you're not into shooting games, there's a good chance you've never even heard of Darius. I mean, I'm guessing when you met me, you've never ever heard of this series, right?
I've never. No. I mean, like, I don't know what shmup is at that time.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how it is, right? It was this. I wouldn't say it's a dead genre, but it's it's a genre that's heyday was like in the mid '90s. So. But shmups, what got me to play shmups seriously was, well, it really was actually probably playing in Taito Hei. But I used to play a lot of fighting games in Taito Hei, and the fighting game floor is above the shooting game floor, so you got to go through the shooting game floor to get to the fighting game floor. And I always saw these like, you know, old like businessmen, these like oji-san in Japan, playing these crazy ass shooting games with like billions of bullets on the screen. And when I was in university and I saw them playing that, I mean, that shit looked impossible to me. It was crazy that people like got into that. And I had a lot of respect for them, but I didn't think I'd ever be able to learn to do it myself. But then, yeah, at some point around 2012, I just decided that I was gonna learn me a shmup, no matter what. Oh, that was absolutely horrible. Horrible. This boss is a little bit random. It's one of the only semi-random things in the game. And when he jumps through you like that, it fucking sucks. But, well, it happened. I thought I was doing good on this run until that happened. Now we're officially doing bad on this run. We're gonna see. This is usually where I will game over. Zone P is what determines everything. So. Zone P is really annoying because there's a lot of enemies shooting red bullets at you. But then, like, everything is red. You can't see, man. The stage will make you go blind. Also, you'll see, like, there starts to be this meteor shower here. And this meteor shower is fucking hard to deal with. Not because of the small meteors, but eventually they'll turn to big meteors. And once that happens, like, shit goes crazy. I gotta stop talking. I'm definitely gonna be dead. So, no more talking, no more commentary. We gotta take the shit seriously for a little bit. So I'm doing very badly right now. I only have 3 shields, which is horrible. It's now I have 2 shields. What the fuck happened there? Why didn't that thing die? Wow. You can tell I haven't played No One in a while. Octopus. Interesting fact, Octopus here is actually one of the final bosses of Darius 1. And in Darius 1, Octopus is far and away the easiest boss in the game. In fact, he's a complete fucking joke. He's probably the easiest boss in the game, in my opinion. But he really comes back for some hardcore revenge in Darius 2. He's not taking any shit from anybody. He's got something to prove. Well, I can say that we are at least alive, which is good. Let's see if we can beat the boss without losing a shield, which is pretty unlikely, to be honest. We might be okay, but if we can't, then we're gonna have some problems. Alright, we're losing the shield. Not going well. We still have 1 shield, that's very good. These octopuses up here, out of my way. So far, so good. It's a very specific strategy for this boss that I do not have time to tell you right now. Just, you know, just do what I just did. Alright, we got 1 shield. It could be worse. I think I have a chance of clearing. I have a chance of clearing. With 1 shield, we might be able to do it. Alright, I'm not gonna talk. This shit is really fucking hard, so bear with me. Ashley can comment. You do the commentary, Ashley. I'm not doing this shit. I gotta concentrate.
I cannot distract you.
Alright, there's our first death. Now shit's gonna be really hard. Believe it or not, that is not a death sentence in the final stage. sure as hell isn't ideal either. Alright, I think we can do this. That was a very solid run. We did it! 1 CC!
He died fast.
Not bad. Yeah, he does. He dies fast.
Oh, he dies so fast.
Yeah, you have to be brave, though. You have to, like, get right in his face to do it. But there we go. We got the 1 CC. So that is Darius 2 on difficulty B, I guess it would be. The normal difficulty. Wow. I'm actually surprised. I honestly didn't think I was going to clear that today, but we did. I'm going to sit back and take a break because that was intense. One thing about Darius 2 is I think it's an absolutely hellish game to learn. But once you've learned it, like once you do know how to play it well, it's very fun to sit down and play. But yeah, it's probably too hard and masochistic for the average player, I think. If you like losing hundreds of times in a row, then this is the game for you. I'm gonna go grab myself a water while the credits roll here. Uploading data to ranking server. I don't know. I never actually attempted to play this game for score, so I'm not sure if I'll rank it or not. Guess we'll see. Surprisingly, yes. I think I haven't actually played... I haven't played Darius 2, like basic Darius 2, on Switch since the, like, major update to this. So probably not since the game, like, first came out. Most of the time on the Switch version, I end up playing, like, Sagaya or Sagaya V2 because those games are fucking great. And I play Darius 2 all the time in the arcade.